Hey guys, Michael Cheney here from scope4cash.com. If you're watching this on the replay, remember you can still tap the screen and give me hearts if you get value from what you see. I'd appreciate that. And you can still share this with your followers if you think they'll get value from this information as well. I'd appreciate that also. So Rachel, great to see you here. Trevor, welcome guys. PI Mike, welcome to the building. Great to see everybody here. Thank you for the hearts coming in already. Okay guys. We're going to get started on this very, very quickly. TS Life Coaching, welcome to you. Let me get my little jingle board here. I'm brown. Oh yeah, you've got brown hearts. Sometimes it happens when you get those real shitty hearts, the brown ones. But hey, love is the killer app. Great to see you here. PI Mike, great to see you here. I've not shipped your book yet, Mike. Apologies. I've got the book here to send you. Apologies for the delay. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. Jimbo, Keith, thank you for sharing on Twitter. Hey guys, I'd really appreciate it if you've got followers on Periscope that you think would get value from the information I'm about to share with you, and you think they would enjoy knowing how to generate money from Periscope from somebody who's generated over $6 million online. That's me. Then please share this out. Every time you invite your followers in and you share this broadcast, you're entered into a competition, okay? I see the guys that are sharing, I know who shares. Obviously, I can see who shared on Twitter as well, retrospectively. Also, you get entered into a contest. And the winner of this week's contest will win the How to Scope for Cash Power Pack, which is going live next week. It's $97. You will get that entirely for free. It's everything I know about how to make money from Periscope. It's got swipe files that you can use. It's got absolutely everything, videos, the whole shooting match, okay? It goes live next week. You'll get a free copy of that, okay? So thank you guys. Sean Turf to be fit. That's a bit of a mouthful. Yes, I managed to get through that. Right, guys, let's get into this, okay? How to turn your scopes into cash. Sorry you're late, Vincent. No problem. I'll let you off. It's all good. It's all good. So, guys, this all starts with a story, right? I thought I'd start this one out with a story. I got into internet marketing back in, well, officially, kind of the late 90s, kind of 2000 era, something like that. Thank you for inviting followers, Ian. I appreciate that. But I built my first website in about 1995. But I kind of went full-time and was doing, well, I was actually working in a job, right, full-time, 9 to 5, and then I would work on the internet 6 p.m. till midnight, every night, Monday through Friday, and then all day and all night, thank you for sharing on Twitter, David, at the weekends as well. Okay, so it was kind of pretty intensive, to say the least. Seniority, yes, Simon. Well done, Simon knows that. So yeah, it was pretty intensive, okay? And for 2 years, I held down a full-time job, nothing to do with the internet, and tried to set up an online business for 2 years. And I made, well, let's have a guess, guys. Use the chat box. How much do you think I made? You probably know where this is going, okay? Mo Lester, Poontang. Don't know what that means, but you can have a... Okay. Guess how much I made during those 2 years? Come on, guys, chat away. I know there's a little bit of a lag, but I've got a ton of stuff to get through. Nil, says Ian. AdSense riches. That came later. The job, I used to work for ExxonMobil. So, guys, I made nothing in 2 years, right? I made nothing. Zero. Man with a purpose. You are correct. I didn't make any money whatsoever in those 2 years. And the reason I didn't make any in those 2 years is because I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know how to sell, okay, and that's what I'm going to teach you on this scope. Okay, we're going to go through the basics here. I did not know how to sell, and particularly did not know how to sell online. Once I'd worked out, yes, he got it correct. Once I'd worked out how to sell online, I was able to scale things up quickly. The first product that I sold was actually an ebook, and it sold a few hundred copies. It was cool, but it wasn't anything amazing. And then I sold a video program, kind of found my niche, and made $250,000 in 7 days. Okay, $250,000 in 7 days. Didn't all go into my, I wasn't a second-hand car salesman. No, I worked for the oil industry. I was in the oil industry. And then from that point on, there's been no looking back, okay? I'd worked out how to sell online. I kind of unlocked the secret, if you like, and I was then going off and learning new stuff and then teaching it and selling it and so on. No, that was gross. It's $250,000 in 7 days. I took about half of that, okay? Now, since then, I've made grossed over $6 million online, Okay, I've been very, very fortunate in everything that I've done. I've launched a lot of products. I've taught a lot of stuff to people. I've been doing this now for 15 years, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. I've made a lot of money from my websites with the the real estate that I've had on through advertising. I've sold online advertising, so I've done the whole gamut of online stuff. But what I want to share with you today, and the reason I tell that story is not to impress you, as the phrase goes, but to impress upon you that if you don't know how to sell, then it doesn't matter what platform you're using, right? Yes, technically I am, Trevor. So it doesn't matter what platform you're using, right? Periscope's no different. It's kind of different, but it's kind of the same. We'll come on to that later. But you need to know how to sell. Now, what I want to teach you on this scope is the concept that underpins all of this, right? The concept that underpins everything on how to sell. Not necessarily, not just online, but specifically if you're trying to sell to a market, right? Any kind of market. If you found a hungry crowd, you've got people that have a pain, that have a problem, and you can solve it either with your own product or service or somebody else's and get paid commission. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do, okay? So, if that sounds cool, let me just pause for breath and take a quick drink. If that sounds cool, then give me some hearts, give me some love, give me some love.
Hands up, baby, hands up. Give me your heart, give me your heart, give me hands up, baby.
I got a bit over exuberant there and spilled the drink. Okay, cool. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I love all the hearts fluttering up. Mo Lester, thank you for giving all the hearts. I see a lot of green ones. I see some purple ones. I see the brown ones coming in. So that is all good. Thank you for those. Wipe my face here. Okay, so let me give you this concept, right? This is the number one concept. Well, actually, it's number two. Number one was the story about the fact that you're not going to get anywhere unless you know how to sell. Number two, so what we're going to do, I basically said, look, you need to know how to sell. I'm now going to teach you the number one concept of how to sell, and then I'm going to go on to, well, how do you do this in Periscope, okay? So, next, the concept of how to sell. This all comes from the phrase that I use called chocolate broccoli, okay? You might have heard of this. I know we've got some long-time Cheneyiacs in the house. If you've just joined, by the way, and you've been invited by one of your guys, the followers of other people, my name's Michael Cheney. I'm from scopeforcash.com. I teach you how to scope for cash. I've been a full-time internet entrepreneur since the year 2000. And we're going to get stuck into this, right? Let's go. So it's called chocolate broccoli, right? Most people, when they start out online and they try and sell something, sell broccoli, right? Not physically broccoli. Obviously, this is a metaphor. They sell broccoli. What is broccoli? Well, it's good for you. It's nutritious. However, most people don't want it, right? All the secrets will be revealed next week. These are secrets right here. What I'm giving you here is the money. It is the money. It's not all the money, some of the money, right? Is broccoli, right? We're talking about chocolate broccoli. Most people sell broccoli online. They sell what they think people need. People need broccoli, right? It's got nutrients in it. It's got value. It's got vitamins. It's got all that good stuff. But people do not want broccoli. They need it, but they ain't going to buy it, right? And you can ask any parent how easy it is to get their child to eat broccoli, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, right? In fact, we had broccoli in our family this evening. At least the adults did, right? So broccoli, most people try and sell broccoli. They think, oh, well, such and such needs life insurance, therefore I'm going to sell life insurance. Such and such needs, I don't know, they need a little bit of software that will make WordPress easier, so I'm going to sell that, right? They need that. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but people don't buy what they need. Look around you, right? Look at everybody. People don't need PlayStation 4s. People don't need 50-inch plasma TVs. You know, people don't need, holidays in the Maldives and 3 weeks in Dubai, and people don't need to fly first class. It's not a need. It's not like they're going to cease to exist or whatever if they don't buy these things, okay? People don't buy what they need. People buy what they want, okay? So that's where we come over to chocolate, right? Some people, unscrupulous people, I actually heard a story about a guy today, a UK-based so-called marketer, was a total scammer. He was taking pictures of his house, he was taking videos inside other people's houses. They weren't his house. He was claiming they were his house, but they were like multi-million-dollar houses that weren't his. And he was totally scamming people, right? He was doing what we call selling chocolate. Thank you for all the hearts, guys. The brown chocolate hearts are still going up. some people there going up, yes, yes, yes. I wasn't going to mention it by name, but yeah, you guys have mentioned it, right? And this scope has not been in any way inspired by this guy. I just thought I'd drop it in there, right? So that's selling chocolate. When you sell chocolate, you sell what people want, right? But Ian, your brown hearts, thank you. But they're not. You're not giving them what they need, right? If you sell chocolate, okay, people are going to buy it and they're going to eat it. You can't live on chocolate, right? You can't survive on chocolate alone. Your teeth will rot. You'll get fat. You'll get spots. You know, it's not going to work. It doesn't have what you need. It's got all the stuff you don't need, right? It's got fat, caffeine, sugar. It's just rubbish, right? So it's not what you need. It might be what you want, but it's not what you need. So what is the answer? The Weaver, right? You sell chocolate-covered broccoli. That's how you should position your stuff. Now, before I get slayed here, before you bombard me on the chat box and say, whoa, Cheney, what on earth are you suggesting here? I'm not saying sell one thing and then deliver something else, right? I am saying you need to coat it in some chocolate, right? You need to coat your product in what people want. You need to attract them by asking them and positioning it, saying, look, this is what you want, right? So to give you an example, somebody might sell, and this was a guy that I was working with, I don't know if he's on this scope, he maybe may not be. This is a guy I was working with, he was selling some software, and he said, well, look, this software will, it's a little widget for WordPress, and what it does is it grabs it grabs different affiliates and it helps you grab different affiliates using WordPress. It's a cool plugin and it works really quickly. I was like, well, that might be what people need. People might need a WordPress plugin for their blog that helps them get affiliates, blah 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 blah. But they're not going to buy that, right? They're not going to buy that. What they want in terms of internet marketing generally is money. Right? So what I said to this guy is, you've got to switch this around. You've got to go the chocolate-covered broccoli method, and you've got to say, look, here's a bit of copy and paste code that will make you money. Right? That wasn't a lie. That was the absolute truth. Because in this example, this bit of code, you put it onto your blog, and it helped you get affiliates. Right? And those affiliates promote your product, and you make money. So it's a slight switch. Right? Hey, Mania, great to see you. I don't want a drill bit. I want a hole. Exactly, right? Exactly. So it's about selling people on what they want, but giving them what they need, right? So you can't just sizzle this all up beyond all proportions. Oh, yeah, this is going to make you a ton of money, or this is going to make your life be, better than your wildest dreams. And then they bite into this thing, and it's just chocolate. There's no substance. There's no nutrients. There's no broccoli. You've got to give them what they need, right? And you might think, oh, this is common sense. Well, it's uncommon sense in my humble opinion, in my experience, and most people just don't get this. They think, hey, Noodle, welcome to the building. We've got more people stepping in the room all the time. Hey, to you, if you've just joined, my name is Michael Cheney. I am from scope4cash.com, teaching you how to scope for cash. The name's in the title. We're talking about how to turn your scopes into cash. We've spoken already about the fact you need to know how to sell. We're now talking about this concept of chocolate-covered broccoli. How when you're trying to sell anything, you need to make sure that it is chocolate-covered broccoli. So it's giving people what they want, but it's also giving people what they need. If you want to know how I get these sounds, all these different sounds in, then stay tuned, because next week I'm releasing the How to Scope for Cash program. It will have all this stuff in it, all the tools that I use, all the different methods I use to get more followers, hearts, shares, viewers, and how to generate money from Periscope. Okay, you wanna get it. It will be over at, I think I've got a thing here somewhere, handy, scope4cash.com. You can go there right now and you can register your early bird. Hey Lawrence, great to see you here. You can register your early bird interest for that. It's going to go live on Tuesday next week. If you want to get early bird notice on it, go to scope4cash.com, stick in your email address, and you'll get early bird notice on that, okay? So, chocolate-covered broccoli, that's what you need to do, okay? Cover your products in chocolate. Now, as I say, a lot of people get this wrong and they think, well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell broccoli, right? They think I'm going to be like an angel, I'm going to be this all-good saint. I'm going to say, well, no, I'm really going to give people what they need. What people really need is they need, a step-by-step thing that shows them absolutely everything on how to make money online, or a step-by-step guide that shows them how to set up a blog and how to do this and how to create a funnel. I'm going to show them absolutely everything. Well, yeah, I mean, well done for you for feeling like that and having the kudos. Charles, sorry you're late. You say sorry you're late. No problem. No problem at all. At least you made it here. Ringing the bell. So, most people, some people do that, right? They create these broccoli products that they think are going to, people are going to buy them because it's exactly what people need. But it's not. People aren't going to whip out their wallets and buy anything on a base of need, unless it's a life or death kind of situation, or a health, or there's extreme discomfort, like their property is too small, they've got noisy neighbours, or there's a leaking roof or whatever. Then yes, they would need to buy another property, and you could maybe argue that's a want rather than a need. Okay, so don't think that just doing the right thing and trying to create something that people need is going to work. I'll give you another example from my experience. Right, I've delved into the personal development arena. Right, a couple of times. I'm a big believer in personal development. I've got a bookcase full of stuff over there that you can probably see. Okay, personal development stuff, most of that. Okay, and for a time I thought, I could be a personal development guy. I could come in and be like, the new Tony Robbins, or next guy like Tony Robbins and all that stuff. It's hard. Right? It's hard to sell in that niche, as many of you may testify. I know there's at least a couple of guys that I know on here that are in this niche who can probably testify this. And the reason for it is people need it. You cannot argue that people don't need personal development. People definitely need personal development. Everybody needs personal. You should always be investing in yourself, because it's what drives everything else. People say, how do you get your energy? How do you get so much done? I get more done than most people get done who've got large teams, right? I've worked with a whole bunch of different people over my years, and nobody, to my mind, gets more done than I do, right? And it's because of what I've learned in personal development. So it's super important, because if you improve yourself, you improve everything else, right? And you're probably a big believer in this anyway. But the point is, if people aren't a believer in this, right, they might need all this stuff, but they ain't going to buy it. They're not going to get their credit card out to be a better person, because they don't want it. They don't want to go through that pain of recognizing where they're failing and the fact they've got to go and change. They don't want to change their habits. They don't want to stop watching TV and go and read a book instead. They don't want that. Right? So you've got to find a market, or find a way to position what you're selling where you're giving people what they want, but simultaneously giving them what they need. And as I'm saying, I emphasize here, it's not about bait and switch. You don't say, get this, come in and get this, and then they come in and you give them this, right? It's the same thing, but it's how you wrap it up, okay? So that's the chocolate broccoli. If this is making sense here, am I talking on my own here? Am I talking absolute bollocks? What is going on? If you like the sound of this, then please.
Hands up, baby, hands up. Give me your heart, give me your heart, give me hands up, baby.
Okay. Startup Noodle, thank you for inviting your followers. I appreciate it. Okay. We're going to talk in a second about how to sell on Periscope. Okay, we've spoken first about yes, you should get that as your ringtone. We've spoken first about the fact you need to know how to sell, and if you don't know how to sell, you ain't going to make jack. Second, we've spoken about this underpinning theory of how to sell, and the concept that I feel underpins everything, will make you sell a ton more, no matter whether it's Periscope, Twitter, online, offline, wherever, which is this chocolate broccoli concept. And in a moment, we're going to move on and talk about how to do this on Periscope, right? Particular strategies that you can use to do this on Periscope. But before we do that, I've got some breaking news for you that you may not have heard. Breaking news. Okay, it's kind of breaking news.